Wildfires force 60,000 evacuations in Spokane. At least 3 wildfires ballooned over the weekend in Spokane County, Washington, burning more than 5,390 acres and forcing the evacuation of about 60,000 people, about a tenth of the area's residents. Firefighters were racing to take advantage of slightly improved weather conditions, though those conditions could worsen again by Wednesday. Officials said at a news conference yesterday that no deaths, injuries, or missing people had been reported, but cautioned those figures could change. Major General Gent Welsh, the Washington National Guard commander, said at a briefing that when the sun rises, they may be in shock at the scenes that emerge. Residents in the Pacific Northwest have dealt with a record-breaking wildfire season, largely due to excessive drought and heat, with more than 1,000 fires burning this year in Washington alone, covering about 425,000 acres. In other Washington news, the Justice Department committed in writing to abandoning elements of a deal it struck with President Trump to resolve his lawsuit against the IRS Senators John Cornyn of Texas and Tom Tillis of North Carolina, who had been holding out on the nomination of Todd Blanche to lead the department, said they would back him. The two men had vowed not to confirm Blanche unless he provided written assurances that the department had formally scrapped a planned $1.8 billion fund to pay people who claimed the government had persecuted them, and that he narrow the scope of immunity from IRS scrutiny granted to Trump. Critics said the documents Blanche posted to social media had loopholes and left the perk most valuable to the president largely untouched. Trump, when asked about the assurances provided by Blanche, his former personal lawyer, said, "I didn't look at it." Representative Max Miller, an Ohio Republican facing allegations that he abused his ex-wife and daughter, denied the claims and refused to drop out of his race for a third term. A House panel called for the censure of Representative Chuck Edwards, a North Carolina Republican, finding that he had most likely violated rules on sexual harassment. Health officials in Michigan, at the center of a 9-state outbreak of cyclosporiasis, said 2 deaths had been linked to the intestinal illness caused by the parasite Cyclospora, which spreads through food or water contaminated with human feces. The 2 people who died had significant underlying health conditions that may have been impacted by cyclosporiasis and dehydration. That's the latest for now. Thanks for listening.